Hello everyone and welcome back to This Week in Solar, our summary of the biggest stories in solar energy in 5 minutes or less. I'm Aaron Nichols, the Research and Policy Specialist here at Exact Solar in Newtown, Pennsylvania. And our first story today is Clean Energy Tax Credits Hang in the Balance. The House Ways and Means Committee is expected to mark up a final budget reconciliation bill on Tuesday, May 13th. Draft language could be released as early as this weekend. A full House vote could happen before Memorial Day. The key solar industry concerns are the 45X manufacturing tax credit may remain, but with a foreign entity of concern or FEOC restriction that could make it unworkable. The fate of the 25D residential solar credit remains uncertain, with fewer lawmakers defending it. 48E and 48C, the tech-neutral credits, may be phased out. Representative Andrew Garbarino, who led the letter advocating for the Inflation Reduction Act that 21 House Republicans signed, is circulating a marker bill to preserve 25D, 45X, and 48E with a more workable FEOC standard based on ownership only. The Solar Energy Industries Association is urging solar businesses to contact lawmakers now and advocate for protecting the IRA's incentives. Story 2. 38 Republicans call for full repeal of the IRA. On May 1st, 38 House Republicans called for a full repeal of the Inflation Reduction Act through budget reconciliation. They argued in a letter that the IRA will cost $1 trillion and undermine what they called, quote, reliable energy sources like coal and gas. The letter opposes preserving any individual clean energy tax credits, warning it would, quote, preserve the entire IRA. Story 3. A bipartisan bill aims to protect solar tax credits. Representatives Paul Ruiz and Gabe Evans introduced a bill to safeguard and expand the 45X tax credit. The bill would increase incentives for domestic production of solar, wind, batteries, and critical minerals. It also emphasizes workforce development and manufacturing jobs. More than 1,500 solar companies have signed letters of support to keep 45X. Story 4. PJM asks FERC to dismiss complaint. PJM, the largest regional transmission organization, or RTO, in the United States, manages the electricity grid and wholesale power market for 65 million people across 13 states and Washington, D.C. Last year, their capacity auction raised the total cost of ensuring capacity in PJM's region from $2.2 billion to $14.7 billion, increasing some customer bills by up to 20%. PJM and energy trade groups asked the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission to dismiss a complaint to overturn the grid operator's last capacity auction. Consumer advocates say the results were based on manipulated projections. PJM says making retroactive changes to their capacity auction would harm investor confidence and violate a regulatory precedent. Story 5. Farmers turn to solar for income and water savings. Some farmers in California's Central Valley are fallowing land and installing solar panels to save water and boost income. A new study found that solar can generate $124,000 per hectare annually, 25 times more than crop farming. But it doesn't need to be one or the other. Solar also supports pollinator and grazing habitats. Some crops, like leafy greens, can be grown under panels to reduce evaporation and increase yield by taking advantage of the shade those panels offer. Integrating solar photovoltaics, PV, and agriculture is known as agrivoltaics. Agrivoltaics offers financial and ecological benefits. Farms like Jack's Solar Garden in Colorado are showing farmers all over the country how to do the same for themselves. Story 6. Community solar removed from Ohio energy bill. Ohio passed House Bill 15, a broad energy reform package, but removed a proposed community solar pilot from the final version. The program would have reduced bills and expanded energy choice. Despite bipartisan support, community solar was left out of the final version. Advocates praised other provisions in the final bill, including the repeal of the coal subsidy and the support for new energy storage. Local advocates say they'll keep working to get community solar into future legislation. That's all for this week. As always, if you'd like to know where I got this information, the links are in the email below, and if you haven't joined our Substack yet, sign up via email to receive 1 email per week of the biggest stories in solar energy.